Lisa Kelly is a name many people know from the show Ice Road Truckers, where she became famous for driving big trucks across frozen roads in some of the most dangerous places on Earth. She was strong, brave, and always ready to take on challenges that most people would never even think about. But behind the scenes of her fearless work, there was a story that many did not see. At first, she seemed like the perfect example of courage and toughness. She faced freezing cold weather, slippery ice, and huge trucks with skill and determination. People admired her for breaking the stereotype that only men could do such a tough job. But as time went on, it became clear that Lisa's life was not just about strength and success on the ice roads. There was something deeper and more painful happening that she kept hidden from the public eye. The more fans learned about her, the more they wanted to know what made her the person she was behind the camera. What had she been through to become so tough? What struggles did she face that no one knew about? The suspense grew because Lisa did not talk much about her personal life, making people wonder what secrets she was keeping. This curiosity made her story more interesting but also sad. How could someone who looked so strong on the outside be dealing with pain inside? Lisa Kelly's life was like a hidden chapter in a book that many wanted to read but could not find. Her bravery on the ice roads was only part of her story. There was another side to her, a side that showed how hard life could be even for the strongest people. This made her story more real and more heartbreaking because it reminded people that everyone has their own battles. The ice roads were dangerous, yes, but the struggles Lisa faced off the roads were just as serious, if not more. People started to wonder how she managed to keep going and what happened that changed her life forever. The mystery of Lisa Kelly's hidden struggles made many fans feel a mix of admiration and sadness. They wanted to understand her more and find out what made her heart so strong, yet so vulnerable. This part of her story is full of suspense and hope because even though she faced pain, she kept moving forward. The first part of Lisa Kelly's story is about the courage to face danger and the courage to keep fighting even when life gets very hard. It is the beginning of a journey that shows not only the power of a woman driving trucks on icy roads, but also the strength of a person fighting silent battles inside. This story makes us curious about what comes next and reminds us that behind every brave face, there may be a heartbreaking story waiting to be told. Lisa Kelly was loved by many people who watched her on Ice Road Truckers because she showed real strength and fearlessness. She was one of the few women doing such a dangerous job, and that made her story special. Everyone saw her as strong, brave, and ready to face any challenge. But as time went on, things started to change. There were signs that Lisa was not just facing the tough ice roads, but also something very hard in her personal life. Fans began to notice moments when she seemed tired, sad, or distant. This made many wonder what was happening behind the scenes. What was the secret pain that she was carrying? The curiosity grew because Lisa never spoke about it openly. She kept her feelings and struggles hidden from the cameras and the world. This made people more interested in her story, but also worried about what she was going through. What could be so difficult that even someone as strong as Lisa found it hard to handle? The suspense grew because her public image did not show this side. How could someone who seemed so tough be quietly suffering? Many wanted to understand the truth but had no clear answers. Slowly, bits and pieces of her private life started to come out, but never the full story. It was like a puzzle missing some important pieces. This made people want to know more and feel sympathy for her. The idea that someone admired by many was fighting a private battle made her story even more powerful. It showed that fame and strength do not protect anyone from pain. Lisa's personal tragedy was hidden, but it affected her deeply. People wondered if the tough job she loved was helping her stay strong or making things harder. The unknown details made the situation full of suspense. What was the tragedy? How did it change Lisa? Was she able to find hope and healing? This part of her life made fans feel connected to her on a new level because it reminded them that behind every strong person is a human being with struggles. The contrast between her tough work on the ice roads and the sadness she kept inside made her story real and touching. This mystery about Lisa's private pain kept many guessing and wanting to learn more. The second part of her story is about the hidden sadness behind her brave face. It is about the moments when even the strongest people need help, but may not ask for it. The sadness and struggle that Lisa faced made her story not just about adventure and bravery, but about real life, with all its hard and painful moments. This made people respect her more and feel curious about how her journey would continue. Lisa Kelly's life seemed like a story of strength and adventure, but beneath the surface, there was a shadow no one expected. As her fans watched her brave the icy roads, questions began to rise quietly but strongly. What was happening when the cameras were off? What struggles was Lisa facing that were so serious they started to affect her life in ways no one could ignore? The suspense grew because the answers were not easy to find. People wondered if the dangers of her job were only part of the problem. Maybe there was something more personal, something deeper and harder to face. The mystery around Lisa's life made many curious and anxious to know the truth. How did the harsh life of an ice road trucker change her? Was the cold and danger something she could handle, but her real challenge was inside herself? This made her story even more powerful and sad. People started to imagine what it must have been like for her when the tough, fearless driver they saw on TV had to fight battles that were invisible to others. The suspense was also in the silence. Lisa did not talk much about what was really going on. This made the questions grow even bigger. What was the heartbreak she was hiding? How long had she been carrying it? Did anyone close to her know the full story? The curiosity was like a growing wave, pushing people to want to understand her better. The truth, when it finally began to come out, showed how pain and struggle can touch anyone, no matter how strong they seem. Lisa's story was not just about trucks and frozen roads. It was about the human heart and the hidden wounds it can carry. The suspense in this part of her life was about waiting to see if she could find peace and hope despite the pain. Would she be able to heal? Would her story end in sadness? Or would there be a chance for something better? People watched with hope and concern. This part of Lisa's story makes us remember that sometimes the hardest battles are not the ones we see. It teaches us to look deeper and to understand that even the strongest people have moments when they need support and kindness. The mystery and silence around Lisa's private struggles create a powerful tension that makes her story unforgettable. It is a story of courage, but also a story of human vulnerability. The more we learn about her hidden pain, the more we feel connected to her journey and the hope that one day she can find light beyond the darkness. This part is about the unknown struggles and the hope that even when life feels the hardest, there is still a chance for healing and peace. It reminds us to be gentle with others because we never know the full story behind their brave faces. Lisa Kelly's story took a turn that no one expected, and when the heartbreaking truth finally began to surface, it shocked many who thought they knew her well. The strong woman who had faced freezing ice roads and impossible challenges suddenly showed a side that was full of pain and deep sadness. What made this truth even more powerful was how it touched not only Lisa herself, but also the people who loved and cared about her. The suspense built as details slowly emerged, revealing that her struggles were much bigger than anyone could imagine. This was not just about a tough job or hard weather. It was about the personal battles that had quietly grown worse over time. People began to wonder how Lisa managed to keep going when the pain was so real and close to her heart. How did this tragedy change her life? Who stood by her side in those dark moments? The curiosity grew because the story was more than just sadness. It was about how pain can reach into many parts of a person's life and affect relationships, dreams, and hopes. Lisa's family, friends, and fans all felt the weight of what she was going through, and many wished they could do more to help. The heartbreak was shared by all who loved her, and this made her story feel even more real and emotional. As the truth unfolded, people saw how difficult it was for Lisa to carry such a heavy burden while still appearing brave and strong to the world. The mystery of how she stayed strong while fighting this private war added to the sadness and the respect people had for her. The tragedy was a reminder that no one is truly alone, even when it feels like it. It showed the importance of support and understanding from those around us. Lisa's journey was not just about her own pain, but about how that pain touched others and changed the way they saw her and the world. This part of her story makes us feel the deep human connection between pain and love. The heartbreak was not just hers, but shared by all who watched and cared. The suspense and curiosity about what happened next made people hope that there was still a way for Lisa to heal and find peace. It was a powerful moment that showed how real life can be much harder than any adventure on icy roads. This truth also helped many people understand that behind every strong person, there can be hidden struggles that only become clear when the walls come down. Lisa Kelly's tragedy touched hearts because it showed the reality of pain and the power of love and support. The story made people think about their own lives and the struggles others might be facing quietly. It was a moment of sadness, but also a chance to feel hope and believe that even in the hardest times, we are never truly alone. Lisa Kelly's life was full of strength and bravery, but behind that strong image, there were sacrifices and pain that few knew about. As her story became more clear, people grew more curious about what she had given up and the struggles she quietly faced every day. What made her keep going even when things got very hard? The suspense built because no one really understood how much she had lost or what she had to leave behind to keep chasing her dreams. Fans wondered if the sacrifices were worth it and how they affected her heart and soul. Lisa's journey showed that being brave on the icy roads was only part of the battle. The real test was the fight inside her, the sacrifices she made for her family, her career, and herself. The curiosity grew about what kind of pain she carried and how it shaped the person she became. Did she have to leave behind people she loved? Did she give up parts of her happiness to survive in such a tough world? This part of her story made people realize that courage often comes with a price, and that price is not always visible. The sacrifices she made were a secret part of her life, hidden beneath the fame and the daring adventures. People wanted to know more about what she lost in the process and how she found the strength to keep moving forward. The suspense was also in wondering if she would ever find peace after all the sacrifices. Would she be able to heal from the pain? Was there hope for a happier future despite the hard past? This made her story even more touching because it showed that bravery does not mean the absence of pain, but the choice to keep going despite it. Lisa Kelly's sacrifices and the hidden pain she carried made her story very real and relatable. It reminded people that even heroes have to make tough choices and give up things they care about. This part of her life teaches us that success and courage often come with silent struggles and quiet losses. It makes us think about what we would do if we were in her place, and how much strength it takes to keep fighting. The curiosity about her sacrifices also brought respect and admiration from fans who saw her not just as a truck driver on icy roads, but as a real person with a deep and complicated story. This made people feel closer to her and more inspired by her journey. The suspense remains in wondering how she continues to heal and what her life looks like now after all she has been through. Her story is a powerful reminder that behind every brave person is a story of sacrifice, pain, and hope. It teaches us to be kind to others because we never truly know the battles they face or the price they pay for their strength. Lisa Kelly's story continues to inspire because it shows that even when life takes so much from us, we can still find the courage to move forward and keep dreaming.